What's going on, boys? It's your boy Max. In this video, I got a banger for you guys. I'm gonna be breaking down the black pill, aka the incel pill, like I like to call it. And I'm gonna be breaking down all of the myths of the black pill, all of the truths as well. And I'm gonna be giving you guys an alternative so that you don't have to resort to being an incel, to accepting defeat in life as a man. Because too many young men and grown men are being affected negatively by this sort of mindset, by this sort of ideology, thinking that if they're not tall, if they're not handsome, if they're not a certain race, if they don't have certain facial features, that their life is over, right? This ideology is personally like a virus, and I want to help as many guys as possible with this video. So I'm going to be teaching you guys exactly how I was able to have the dating life of my dreams. Despite being the fact that I'm 5'7.5", right? I don't have model-like looks. I say I'm pretty attractive, right? But I wouldn't say I look like a straight-up model, right? Guys tell me all the time in my comments, all these black pill losers talking about how, oh, apparently my eyes are too close. But it's never been an issue with me with women, right? My height hasn't been an issue. My eye distance hasn't been an issue. None of that has ever been an issue for me, because I didn't make it one, and I focused on the controllables, which the black pill calls cope, right? The black pill likes to focus on the things that you can't control, right? Things like your facial structure, things like your height, things like your race, all of these things. And that's why it makes young men, makes men in general, whoever follows the black pill ideology, it makes them have this sort of defeatist mindset, right? So let's break down what the black pill is about, and we're going to start off about the truths of the black pill. Now, just a quick backstory about my experience with the black pill. I personally had a looksmaxxing journey of my own, right? I started looksmaxxing in 2016, right? Except my looksmaxxing journey was a lot different than what some of these streamers, some of these famous looksmaxxers who are trending right now. My methods were a lot different than the ones they preach. You see, modern streamers, modern looksmaxxers will tell you that if you're not tall, if you're not a certain race, if you don't have a certain facial structure, then it's over for you, right? And they recommend getting surgery. They recommend using makeup on your face to lighten up your skin tone, right? Because you're too dark. All of these like nonsense, all of this nonsense. And I haven't had to do any of that, right? Now, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Looks absolutely matter. I speak about it on my channel all the time. Looks matter. If you present yourself well, you're gonna be treated with better opportunities, and obviously you're gonna attract more women. Simple as that, right? And I've had a looksmaxxing journey of my own. I started actually in 2016, about 10 years ago, right? I grew out my hair. I got into great shape, into the best shape of my life. I cleared up my skin, right? I started dressing better. All of these things that made me more attractive. And I saw a night and day difference. I didn't have to do any surgery. I didn't have to wear makeup, right? I didn't have to do any of these extreme measures, right? Because I started to focus on the controllables. And I'm gonna pop up some pictures from my journey as I was going on and on for the past 10 years, right? It was a 10-year long journey, but I came a long way. And now I literally have women reaching out to me first on dating apps. I get hundreds of matches every single month, right? I've been with more women than most guys have been in their lifetime. And I'm only 24 years old, right? So how was I able to do it? Well, it's because I didn't follow the black pill ideology. I didn't just accept defeat. I didn't accept defeat, the fact that, oh, I'm 5'7". Oh, I have these flaws about myself, right? And as a man, as a masculine man, are you really going to accept defeat? Or are you going to focus on the controllables? Because that's exactly what being a man is about. But less talking, let's get right into what the black pill is all about. There are some truths to the black pill ideology, right? They have some true statements. One of them is that you are judged on your appearance, which is a fact, right? If you look good, you're going to be presented better opportunities at work. You're gonna be attracted to by more women, right? People are gonna treat you better. There's literally been studies shown, guys, that people treat people that they deem as attractive better than people that they deem as unattractive, right? And if you're a handsome guy, you probably experience this yourself, right? People are more likely to want to speak to you. They like strangers come up to you, they ask you questions. Women come up to you, right? Women start to reach out to you. Maybe you get that job, right? So yes, do looks matter? 1000% looks matter. I'm not gonna be one of these guys that try to tell you, oh, just be confident, bro. Like, no, looks absolutely matter. You have to take care of your looks, and I'm gonna break down in this video later on exactly how to do this the right way and not the black pill way, right? How I did it for myself. But do looks matter? 1000%, right? Just understand that. You can't just like not care about your presentation at all, be all sloppy, right? Be fat, be out of shape, right? Have bumps all over your face, look like a hobo, and expect to be treated fairly by the world, right? People will not treat you well if you present yourself like shit, right? Opportunities present themselves to those that present themselves. Just keep that in mind, okay? So next truth is if you don't look attractive, you won't get in the door. What this means is that if you're not attractive, women won't even give you a chance to display certain characteristics about yourself. Things like your humor, right? Your personality, your sense of humor, right? Your confidence, your masculine frame. All of these things, which women find attractive. But I do agree in the sense that you could be the funniest guy in the world, right? You could be the most confident guy in the world. But majority of women won't even give you a chance if you don't even if you don't hit their minimum looks requirement, right? You don't need to be, I'm not saying you need to be a complete model, right? Because we see plenty of, mediocre looking guys with attractive women, right? You don't need to be a complete model. In fact, I'd argue that most women like a guy who's like medium ugly, right? If you look too perfect, like a lot of girls will get turned off by that. But that's another story. What I'm trying to say is that most women won't even give you the chance if you don't hit their minimum looks requirement, right? Especially if you're cold approaching a girl, right? She's already made an assumption about whether or not she would sleep with you within the first 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds before you even said a word, right? She's made a judgment based off whether she's actually physically and sexually attracted to you. That's just primal desire, guys. Primal desire. You see a woman, you know, yeah, I would hit that, right? You know what you're attracted to, right? When you see that pretty girl walking by, you know that if you're attracted or not. Okay? Now her personality may turn you off, but guys are different, right? Guys, we may see a pretty girl, right? Maybe her personality is trash. Her politics are not aligned with ours. Like her whole worldview is completely different than ours. Most guys will still sleep with that girl just for the simple fact that they think she looks good. Women are different though. Women see an attractive guy. If he's attractive enough, they're going to give him a chance to open his mouth. Now, depending on what he says and the way he carries himself, that's going to determine whether or not he can actually, get with this woman, right? But yes, looks are very important. They get you inside the door. Without looks, without a proper presentation, it's going to be very hard to even establish some sort of connection and to use your charisma on women. And then last but not least, is looks equal a woman's primal desire? What this means is that if a woman doesn't find you physically attractive, it's going to be very hard to, she's not going to like you on a primal level, right? She's not going to have that genuine desire for you, which is not a good thing. Because the last thing you want to do is get into a relationship with a woman that only likes you for, the resources that you have, the status that you have, the things that you can provide, right? You want a woman that is actually physically attracted to you, because if it's not based off physical attraction, if the physical attraction isn't there in the first place, that's when you get into issues down the road, right? That's when she starts looking for new opportunities, new guys to get with. Because yeah, maybe you're providing for her, you're paying the bills, you know, you're giving her the attention, you have a great sense of humor, you have a great personality. But listen, at the end of the day, she wants to get hit, right? And if you're not making her wet, then good luck, bro. Somebody else will be, right? She's gonna be thinking about some other guy while she's with you. So yes, if you want to unlock a woman's primal desire, you have to work on your looks, right? But those are about just the only truths to the black pill ideology. And there's quite a few myths. So let's get right into it. As far as the myths, one of the most common ones that I hear is that if you're not tall, if you're not white, if you don't have model features as a man, then it's over. Guys, I'm gonna address this one by one, right? So if you're not tall, like I mentioned, I'm only 5'7.5". I get more women than my friends who are 6 foot and up, right? I literally have clients who are over 6 foot coming to me for coaching, coming to me for advice with their dating life, because obviously their height isn't just carrying them, right? Am I saying that height doesn't matter? No. Women prefer a man who's taller most of the time. There are so many different things that come into play about your height, right? Because if you are tall, but you're fat, but you dress like shit, right? But you're super socially awkward and you have like no sort of social skills whatsoever, you're just weird around women. You think any woman is gonna give you the time of day just because you're tall, right? You really think that? That's why there's so many short guys out here who are straight up killing it, right? In fact, most of the guys that I know who are the most successful with women, I say they're below 5'10". Below 5'10". And it's because they didn't let their height stop them, right? Women only care about your height if you care about your height. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the majority of women. Sure, is there like that 5, maybe 10% of women who, if you're not 6 foot tall, they just won't get with you. Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how much money you make. Yes, that's true. There's gonna be that 10% of women that you need to be a certain height and taller in order to get them physically attracted to you, right? They just can't be with a shorter man. That's understandable, right? There's always exceptions. But for the majority of women, which is what we're focusing on, right? The majority of women, if you're a short guy, but you don't let it stop you, you don't let it make you insecure like these black fellas do, they think that, oh, just because you're under 6 foot tall, like it's over for you. Whole time, their grandpa, right, their great grandpa was like 5'5". You feel me? And everything was perfectly fine. Yes, our time is different now. The social media changed things, sure. But there were tall guys, like since humans have existed, there's been tall men. You understand? If women only went after tall men, then quite literally short men wouldn't exist because every man would be tall, right? Because of the genetics. So they only care about your height if you make it a problem. But if you're a short guy, you take care of your looks. You have a masculine frame, right? You take care of yourself. You have good habits throughout the day. You take care of yourself physically. You're in the gym, right? You actually act like a man, not like a little boy, right? You don't watch streamers all day and use TikTok lingo, right? You're not in the Instagram comment section commenting hate on other people's posts. You actually conduct yourself like a real man. Well, then they're going to be attracted to you more than the guy who's 6 foot tall. You understand? There's so many different things that come into attraction, guys, that if you let things like this narrow your view, you are literally stopping yourself from attracting the woman that you want. You're literally placing limiting beliefs on yourself, and you're rejecting yourself before the woman even get to reject you. You feel me? So, tall doesn't matter. White, this is an important one. All of you guys who want to follow the black pill ideology, You guys do know that a majority of the black pill ideology is focused around Eurocentric features. If you take a look at what they refer to as a Chad, right? Like the most attractive looking guy to them, which I find is very, very weird. If you're a man and you make edits of other men and you like start rating men based off looks, like you're probably not into women, right? You're probably either bisexual or gay. There's something going on there, right? But that's another story, right? Most of the ideology is focused on Eurocentric features. You take a look at their chads, they look like they're straight up European, right? European, hunter eyes, the whole facial structure. You need to understand that every race has different facial features, has different facial structures. So to say that, oh, the most attractive is this type of look, right? Which is white, which is Eurocentric, that's just racist. You understand? It's based on racist ideologies. And I'll see light-skinned guys, black guys follow the black pill ideology, trying to make themselves look more white. Like, come on, bro. That must be the most incel shit that I've ever heard. The most pathetic shit I've ever heard of. Imagine trying to change who you are at your core because what? Some boys told you that that's more attractive? Like, no woman has ever said that. If you're a man that's light skinned or black and you genuinely think that guys who are white have an advantage over you, you're fucking, like, you're delusional, bro. You're delusional. Come to New York, right? Come to New York and you'll see. You feel me? Bro, I don't care what race you are. There is somebody out there with your same race, your same background, and he has the dating life of his dreams and you don't. All because he didn't let it stop him. He focused on the controllables. Unlike you, who wants to cope and say that race is your issue. Oh, I can't get girls because I'm Indian. I can't get girls because I'm black. I can't get girls because I'm light skinned. I can't get girls because I'm Asian. Bro, you sound like a fucking loser. Like, I'm convinced that these guys, they don't have father figures in their life. Because if you had a father figure in your life who genuinely cared about you, and he saw you putting on some fucking makeup to make your skin lighter, he would slap the shit out of you. If he genuinely cared about you. If I was your dad, I would slap the shit out of you. Putting on makeup to make your skin lighter because some TikTokers try to tell you that, oh, white is attractive. Like, come on, bro. Imagine getting with a woman, you kiss her, and then she gets some of your makeup on her cheek. You think she's gonna find that shit attractive? You're out here wearing lipstick to make your lips more red. Like, where the fuck has the world gone to? I really don't understand. She's gonna be wiping your lipstick off her lips. Yeah, you think women find that shit attractive? You guys, it's crazy, crazy. And model features. They think that, oh, you need to be like a perfect 10 out of 10. Look like you're straight up on a Vogue magazine just to be attractive. But guys, these guys are literally like the exception. You walk around everyday life, you will see baddies, like I mentioned, with the guys who aren't even that attractive. Because while looks is very, very important to attracting a woman, it's not the end all be all. And that's the beautiful part about being a man, is that we don't need to just have this one thing, and if we don't have it, we're just doomed. We can work on multiple areas of life and make ourselves into the best man possible, the best version of ourselves. Notice I said ourselves. You shouldn't be trying to be the best version of somebody else. You shouldn't be trying to be like somebody else, look like somebody else. You should be the best version of yourself. Make the amount of money you want to make. Have the look that you want to have the style that you want to have. Maximize your fullest potential, right? You may not be able to have a physique like the other guy, but you can have the best physique for yourself, right? You may not have curly hair. But you may have some fire straight hair, but you're out here trying to get a perm, trying to curl your hair, and you look stupid. If you just embraced who you were and maximized it naturally, which I'm gonna break down in this video how you could do that, you would be 10 times more attractive. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. So that's a myth, right? Looks are the most important for attraction. While I mentioned that, yes, looks are important. Looks matter. Looks will get you inside the door. They're not the most important for attraction. Because you could be 6 foot tall plus, model features, right? If you open your mouth and you sound like an NPC, for lack of better terms, you have no social skills. You can't look women in the eyes. You have this awkward body language, right? You sound like a fucking child when you speak to them. You think women are attracted to that? Guys, I spoke to women, a lot of women in my life, and one thing that I commonly hear from them is they say that it turns us off when a guy looks like he's a certain part, right? He looks the part, but when he opens his mouth, it's the complete opposite. Like, that is the worst thing that you could have. You look like you're that guy. You look like you're masculine. You look like you're confident. You look like you're attractive. Then you open your mouth and you have no game, no charisma, no confidence. Your voice is shaking. You can't look the woman in the eyes. You have no social skills. Men don't respect you. All of these things. You have bad habits. You're watching porn. You're beating off, right? You're smoking. You're drinking. You're escaping your reality. Oh, you think your model looks? You think your height is going to save you? Bro, are there some women that will sleep with you just because you look good? Just because you're tall? Yeah, there are. That's the exception. But the majority of women, bro, if you don't have the personality to match, it's over for you. It's over for you, right? It's over. And that's the thing. Because, you hear women say, oh, personality is the most important. And that has some truth to it. That has some truth to it. For the reasons that I just mentioned. Because you could be great looking, but if you're a creep, and you guys know what creepy behavior is, right? If you're a creep, like, you're gonna turn them off right away. And then last myth is building a physique, building your social status, building your social skills and habits is cope. Can't tell you how many guys, I would make a video talking about how guys should get in better shape, to improve themselves, to, become more attractive. And these black pillars will comment cope. Like, you do understand that the majority of your looksmaxxing transformation will be complete if you just get in shape and you're healthy. Because what makes somebody attractive on a looks wise? What makes someone attractive? It's that they look healthy. They look like they possess good genes, right? That's why you guys care about height and model features so much, right? But you can't maximize that potential if you're fat, if you're out of shape, if you eat like shit, if you stay inside in a dark room all day, your face is breaking out, you got cortisol face, right? Your beard is patchy, you're balding. You think that's attractive? You think that's attractive? You're out here dressing up, your shirt got stains on it, all of these things, or your habits suck, right? You're out here beating off to pixels on the screen. You think that's attractive? None of that is cope. And the thing is, as a man, you shouldn't be doing any of this for women. You should be doing it for yourself. Why is it me getting into the best shape of my life, prioritizing my fitness, prioritizing my health, becoming a more confident version of myself that I'm actually proud of to see in the mirror? Why is that cope? It's because this ideology is based off of laziness. You guys are lazy. You don't want to put in the work, so you accept the fact that you're doomed. Oh, It's too hard to approach women. It's too hard to take nice pictures. It's too hard to get in shape. So let me just not do it. And let me just label it as cope. That's the truth. You want to talk about the truth? That's the fucking truth. That you guys are too pussy and you don't have a backbone to put in the work. That's why you want to accept the fact that, oh, it's tall. Like, oh, it's your height. It's your looks. Yeah, these guys were just blessed with Adonis genetics. That's why they get women. No, it's not the years of being in the gym, the years of following a diet, the years of working on their social skills, the years of building good habits. No, it's not that. It's their genetics, right? This ideology is built off laziness and not wanting to put in the work. And it's exactly why this ideology is the only one where the guys who follow it themselves, they call themselves incels. If you guys like do research about the black pill, these guys literally call themselves incels. That should tell you everything you need to know. Like grown men in their mother's basement calling themselves incels, accepting the fact that, oh, yeah, my life is over. My life is over. Whole time they're 50 pounds overweight. They eat junk food every single day. They haven't showered in 2 weeks. They don't have no skincare routine, right? They stay in a dark room, play League of Legends all day. And then they want to blame their genetics. So, now that we just broke down the truths and the myths of the black pill, let me give you guys what to actually do. What do you actually do if you want to improve your looks, but you don't want to go start hitting your face with rocks? You don't want to start getting some extreme surgeries, and you don't want to just accept defeat. What happens, right? Because every guy can become better looking. Every guy can bump themselves up at least 3 points, and that's being nice, right? You can bump yourself up at least 3 points on the look scale if you implement everything that I'm about to break down, right? So get out your pen, get out a paper, and be ready to take notes because I'm about to drop some game. All right, now that we just broke down everything about the black pill and how not to looksmaxx, right? Let's break down exactly how to do the looksmaxxing the right way, the same way that I've done it for the past 10 years, and the same way that all my clients do it as well, so you can become your most attractive self without hitting your face with rocks and getting surgeries. Let's get into it. So, natural looksmaxxing. Yes, body game. Body game matters. If you take a look at like the black pill theories, a lot of it is about jawline, right? Things like that. They get double jaw surgery. But the reason why you can't see your jaw is because you have fat. You have fat covering your jawline. That's why you have a double chin. That's why you can't even see your neck. When's the last time you saw your neck? You got these big ass cheeks. Of course, because you're overweight, right? So literally going on a diet and cutting down will give you that jawline. You don't even know what your jawline looks like, right? You don't even know what it looks like because you haven't ever seen it. So in order to do that, you must get into the best shape possible. When I say the best shape possible, I'm not talking about being a big bodybuilder. In fact, that actually has negative effects because then you're appealing to the male gaze, right? We're focused on attracting women, right? I hope you're watching this because you want to attract women. The most attractive physique to attract women is going to be this. It's going to be a V-taper, which means broad shoulders, narrow waist. In order to have a narrow waist, you got to lose that weight. You got to be lean. In order to have broad shoulders, well, there's a couple exercises that you can do. I do a lot of kettlebell work for my shoulders. Kettlebell presses, kettlebell swings, kettlebell cleans, snatches, all of that, right? And then I do some lateral raises as well. And that gives me the nice rounded shoulder look, right? Do that, do some rear delt flies, right? Work on your back, do weighted pull-ups. That's gonna give you a that's gonna give you a V-taper physique. Weighted pull-ups, kettlebell work for the shoulders, you're gonna be good, okay? 25 to 26 BMI. A lot of people don't know that BMI actually does matter, right? But not in the way that you think. If you have a 25 to 26 BMI, you're considered overweight. But if you're 12% body fat while having that BMI, right now I'm at 25.5 BMI for my height and my weight, and this is what I look like. Okay? That's going to be the most attractive physique for your height. You understand? Don't be 5'5", trying to be 200 pounds, thinking you're going to look more attractive. You're not, right? And don't be, 6 foot tall and be 135 pounds, thinking you're going to be more attractive. You're not, right? There's a certain threshold. There's like a sweet spot that you can be in with your height that's going to be the most attractive to the majority of women, right? And it's that sweet spot where you fill up your sleeves when you wear clothes. You look like you lift. When you wear clothes, you look good. People can tell that you work out. And then when you take your shirt off, you look even better. You have the abs, you have the obliques popping. That's what you want to go for, right? So that's going to be 25 to 26 BMI, 12% body fat, okay? In order to actually cut down, you're going to have to stop eating a lot of the bullshit foods that you guys are used to eating. So this is what you're going to do. 90-10 clean whole food diet. That's the way that I eat. A lot of guys will tell you, oh, just follow an 80-20 diet. I wouldn't do 80-20, right? 80-20 leaves too much space to fuck off, to fail, right? If you do 90-10 clean whole food diet with the foods that I'm about to break down, you will get jacked. 100%, you will get jacked. This is what I eat. The staples, I eat 10 eggs a day, 6 in the morning minimum. Honestly, nowadays I'll be doing like 12 eggs a day, right? But I understand not everyone wants to eat 12 eggs a day. Eat at least 10, right? 10 is that nice spot. 6 in the morning and then 4 before bed. If you're gonna eat eggs any time of the day, make it before bed, because the eggs is gonna give you the cholesterol you need to build testosterone while you sleep, right? Your body makes testosterone while you sleep. So if you have 4 eggs before bed, it has the building blocks it needs. Do you understand? Testosterone is gonna amp up your muscle mass. It's gonna lower your body fat. It's gonna give you more masculine features that a lot of these looksmaxxers strive for with surgeries, right? But if you optimize your hormones naturally, you don't need any of that, right? You don't need steroids. You don't need peptides, because you have this whole food diet. You understand? So 10 eggs a day. Make sure they're pasture raised eggs, okay? Don't get the regular grocery store eggs. No good. Grass-fed beef. I say at least 0.75 pounds to a pound a day, right? You could do more than that, but for most people, especially if you're on the shorter side, 0.75 pounds to a pound a day. I usually do a pound a day of grass-fed beef every day. So you could do steak, you could do you could do ground beef. Doesn't matter, right? Liver, great. Liver is full of micronutrients, gonna raise your testosterone, cholesterol, all of that, right? It's gonna make you look better. Okay, it's gonna get you jacked. Just be cautious with the liver, because if you do too much, it's gonna increase your liver enzymes a little too much, right? All right. Other foods that you want to have are carrots. Carrots are gonna make your skin more of that tan color, right? Because it has carotenoids. Boom. You don't have to go out and like do a spray tan. Okay? Eat some carrots. Eat some beets. Beets are gonna promote blood flow, which are once again gonna help that muscle mass, and it's gonna help you actually regenerate all the dead skin cells. Like, it's gonna make you look better. When you have more blood flow throughout your body can absorb and disperse the nutrients properly, right? So beets, essential. Avocados, great for the skin, right? Great for the skin, gonna clear up your skin. And make sure you're doing at least a gallon of water a day. This is a big one, okay? This is a big one, because your skin is super important. But I've done the looksmaxxing like skincare routines, and when I first started my looksmaxxing journey, I did the skincare routines, right? I did the face wash 3 times a day. I did a serum. I did an eye serum. I did an exfoliator. I did a moisturizer. I did all of the skincare products. And while my skin did get better, because back then I had no skincare routine. So obviously it got better with a skincare routine. But once I just minimized the products I use and I focused more on the diet and the water intake, that's when my skin really got a lot better. That's when, because I was less inflamed, which when you're inflamed, you're more prone to break out, right? And your face looks more puffy. You feel me? That's why you have that cortisol face, because you stay eating seed oils and processed foods. So when you're eating that 90-10 whole food diet, make sure you avoid the seed oils. Make sure you avoid those packaged foods, the protein snacks, the protein shakes. Don't do it, right? You guys see my physique. I don't do any protein shakes, no protein snacks, no creatine, none of that, right? Real food, right? 2 meals a day, three meals a day maximum. You feel me? That's all I need. That's all you need. Okay? Now, the water intake, that's going to flush out all the toxins from you and it's going to keep your skin hydrated and looking healthy. Okay? Make sure you're getting your water in. Now, 10% of the time, if you want to have the processed foods, if you want to have the seed oils, go ahead, right? Obviously, you have a life, enjoy it. But 90% of the time, if you stay dialed in, it doesn't matter what you eat that 10% of the time. You will get in shape, you will look better, you will have better looking skin. You understand? And the diet is the most powerful tool for the looksmaxxing journey, because when you have a better diet, once again, you get in better shape, you have a better body composition, improved hormones, which means better skin, which means your hair is thicker, your hair looks more healthy, right? All of these things make you look more attractive. Thicker eyebrows, thicker head of hair, you're not balding. All of these things, and all of that can be fixed through your diet alone, okay? Now, 30 minutes of sunlight per day, okay? This is a hack. This is a hack. Summertime, I always look better in the summertime. I get tan, my skin clears up, right? My skin looks more healthy. My hair looks more healthy. I just glow more, right? Get the vitamin D. The hormones are popping, right? My body's looking nice. It's because of more sunlight, guys. Sunlight is a gift from nature. Take advantage of it, right? I live in New York, so it's kind of hard to get sunlight in the wintertime. Like right now, not really any sunlight. That's why I'm looking a little pale. But if you live in a place where you get consistent sunlight and you're not getting 30 minutes of sunlight per day, I don't know what you're doing. Some of you guys, like, you stay in your basement, stay in your mom's basement all day in a dark room, right? And then you come out into the real world with bags under your eyes and you wonder why no woman wants to look your way. And then you blame your genetics. And then you blame your height. No, bro, it's your habits, right? 30 minutes of sunlight per day will not only make you look better, but it's going to make you feel better, right? And when you feel better, you carry yourself with more confidence. Then, thicker eyebrows and facial hair. Yes, having thick hair makes you more attractive, right? That's a fact. And one way that you can improve this besides the diet is I'm going to put you guys on. For the eyebrows, I used to have kind of like patchy eyebrows and I started using something called Rapid Brow. Okay, it's a growth serum you can find on Amazon. You use it twice a day. One time in the morning, one time before bed, right? Use it every single day for a month straight and you will see results. I saw results. Your eyebrows are going to be more thick. They're going to be more fuller, right? And I'm actually going to go back to it, right? Just because I want to see more results with my eyebrows, right? But those thick eyebrows are going to create more of that hunter eye look that all the looksmaxxers strive for. And they do all these weird exercises that you don't have to do. You don't have to waste your time like pulling on your face. Guys, we're ambitious men. We have purpose. We have a mission, right? We don't have time to be like hitting our face and pulling in, like scratching our ears and shit. You feel me? Like, we have shit to do. If you just take care of this, right? You just quick, boom. Eyebrow serum in the morning, eyebrow serum at night. You good, right? It's gonna work. Pair that up with the whole food diet. Your body now has the micronutrients it needs. It has the biotin it needs to promote hair growth, and you're gonna be straight, right? It worked for me, so it'll work for you too, most likely. And then for the facial hair, for me, I've always had facial hair since I was young, but my facial hair started coming in way more once I prioritized that whole food diet. Because yes, I had the genetics for facial hair from the early age. Obviously, literally Kafkas, if you know, you know, right? So most of us are bearded up, right? But I wasn't maximizing my full genetic potential because of my diet. So once I started to actually prioritize the micronutrients over just macros, my body had the ingredients, had the building blocks it needed to fill out my beard, right? Now my beard is literally one of the most things that makes me attractive, right? Women love my beard, right? Get comments on it every single day, right? So does every guy need facial hair? I would say no. Some guys, if you have a really strong jawline, you have a certain type of look, you can get away with not having facial hair, right? But here's what I would say. It's either you have facial hair or you don't. Don't have, and a lot of you guys watching this probably have this shit. Don't have this patchy ass beard looking like you're 15 years old trying to grow your beard. Unless you are 15 years old, then yeah, keep growing it out. But if you're above the age of like 21 and you're still keeping this like patchy beard, like you got a hole in the middle of your beard, bro, two options for you. Number one, shave that shit off because women hate that look. They hate it, right? It looks straw hard. You're looking like you don't have like, nah, it doesn't look good. Does not look good. Second option, if you really want that facial hair, I haven't done this myself personally, but I have had results with other people who I worked for, and I've seen people get results with it, is minoxidil, right? So minoxidil 5% Rogaine, it's a foam. It's gonna stimulate hair growth, right? You use it twice a day, morning and night. You put the foam on the spot where you want the hair to grow, and it takes a while. Like some people, like it takes them like 1 year, but it will help you grow that facial hair, right? So it's a process. If you can stay consistent with it, go ahead. But if you're not gonna stay consistent with it, just shave that shit off. Phenotype maxing is something I do for all my clients. It's essentially where you find someone who is the same race or they have like similar facial features to you, who women deem as attractive. Because yes, believe it or not, bro, I don't care if you're Indian, Asian, black, white, Hispanic, whatever you are. There's a man with the same facial features as you, the same background as you, that women find attractive, right? You just have to find who that guy is and then mimic their look, right? So what type of hairstyle do they have, right? The type of hairstyle do you have can do wonders for your face. In fact, my personal looksmaxxing journey began when I started to grow out my hair, because I used to always have short hair when naturally I have like this curly hair. Right now my hair is like super long, right? But growing out my hair was like the best thing I've ever done for my looks, right? Maybe even better than the physique. Because even before I had a physique, I was still pulling women because of the hair. Because I was blessed with nice hair, right? I was blessed with nice curly hair. But if I would have just kept my hair short the entire time, I would have never known this, right? But what I did, even 15-year-old Max, I started to look at guys who had similar facial features to me, right? Similar backgrounds to me, and I just copied what works. Don't try to recreate the wheel and just focus on what works, right? Copy their hairstyle, maybe add your own twist to it. Look at the way they have their facial hair. Do they have a goatee? Do they have a mustache? Are they clean shaven? Do they have a full beard? And just follow that. The style. Guys, style is like that cherry on top. Can you get away with all of that without having a good style? Yeah, you can. But if you really want to stand out, because you might be in a room with a whole bunch of jacked guys, a whole bunch of guys with masculine frames, how are you going to stand out amongst those guys? Right? You're jacked, they're jacked, you're masculine, they're masculine. How are you going to stand out? Well, it's going to be your style, the way you actually package up your presentation, right? When you get a gift, right? When you get a new product, a lot of times we're more excited about the way the package is presented, the packaging of the product, than the product itself, right? And that's how important the style is. So I'm not going to tell you guys how to dress, but I would say stay away from like the TikTok trends, the baggy shirts. If you're in great shape, like you should be if you're following my advice, Dress in a way that complements your physique. The best results I've seen for myself and for my clients is this type of look right here. Classy with a bit of sex appeal, right? So I'm not wearing a polo buttoned all the way up with a tie and a suit, looking like a nerd, looking like I'm ready to go to a job interview, right? But I'm wearing a nice polo, right? Unconventional color. I got the jewelry. I got the buttons down. I got the belt, right? You guys can't see it, but I got the belt. And it fits my physique. It highlights my features. Hugs my arms. It's not baggy and it's not too tight. That's the type of look you want to go for, right? That's the type of look that's universally most attractive, right? And it's gonna make you feel more confident about yourself. You're gonna feel like a CEO, like a boss, right? That wears whatever he wants, okay? But if you're just like hiding your physique in baggy t-shirts, baggy hoodies, or you're wearing like shirts with like loud prints on them, like graphic designs, like you're not in high school anymore, bro. You're not in high school. Put some effort into your appearance, because the way you present yourself is the way that people will actually treat you, right? And it's gonna make you stand out from every other guy. If you follow everything that I just listed out, and I'm working on a over 1 hour long looksmaxxing guide, breaking down everything in detail, how to actually improve your looks the natural way and how I've done it for myself and for my clients. I'm working on a guide for that, but I hope this helped you, and I hope you don't fall down the rabbit hole of the black pill, and you focus on the controllables. Because as a masculine man, that's all you can do. All you can do is focus on the things that you can control. If you steady focus on the things you can't control, what's the point of living anyway? What's the point? If you really feel like you're doomed, if you really feel like no woman will ever love you because of your height, because of your race, because of your looks, well then what's the point of living? And like, I'm not throwing out any suggestions, but like, come on, you're really gonna live, work a job you don't like, probably pay bills just to exist in a life that you don't even want, right? I'm telling you guys, there is another side to this. There is another side to this. If you don't believe me, just do everything I listed out. Do everything I listed out. Get into the best shape of your life, improve your skin, improve your hairstyle, right? Work on your style, work on your habits. And then tell me if it doesn't work. Because I guarantee you it will. But if it doesn't work for you and you did everything, well then, okay, fine. You could prove me wrong and you can accept the black pill and you can accept that it's over for you, right? But I guarantee you, if you follow everything that I just broke down to the T and you know how to actually implement it into your own life, you will get the dating life you want. You will be presented the opportunities you want, and you won't have to spend a penny on surgeries, on rocks to hit your face with, and you're just going to be a new man. You understand? And if you want my personal help, helping you implement these sort of strategies, these systems into your own life, so you don't even have to think about it. You just follow the systems, the routines that I have for you, and I guide you, hold you accountable every step of the way, like I do for all my clients, so that you can become the man that doesn't focus on the uncontrollables, but focuses on the controllables, maximizes all of his stats, has the woman that he wants, has the physique of his dreams, carries himself with confidence. If you want my personal help with this, I may be able to help you out. Depends on what type of man you are. If you made it to the end of this video, you probably are the type of guy that I can help out, but we're gonna have to see. So click the link in the description to book a one-on-one call with me. Gonna get to know a little bit about your situation, who you are, what your life is like, what you tried in the past, and whether or not it actually makes sense for us to work together, right? But if you're ready to take this to the next level, click that link, book a one-on-one call with me, and let's see if it makes sense for us to work together. Make sure to check out the Instagram. Link is also in the description. Learn a little bit more about me, what I do, who I am, and a bunch of free value there as well. But if you boys found this video valuable, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay dangerous.